All right, how we doing today? All right, wonderful. You know, I thought it was a pretty good work day yesterday. We got a little bit accomplished. The guys had good attitudes. They worked hard. Um, you know, offensively, they did some nice things. Defensively, we could be better, and so we're going to work on that today to try to get better at some things there. But it was a good day, and the attitude continues to be good, and hopefully we can get better today because it's another good work day today, and so we're going to do that. Um, the injured guys, Gray, with that hamstring is going to be a little tight for him. Flowers, excuse me. Flowers is still working to try to improve. We're doing everything we can to evaluate him, look at him, and help him try to get back on the field. And he's working, doing everything we ask of him to try to get back, but he's just not back yet. So when it gets better, we'll put him back out there, but it's not where it needs to be with him. Travis Daniels, he made a little progress yesterday. He was out there and went through individuals, and we'll see what he can do today as far as that goes. Bannon has made it through 2 practices, so we feel good about him and having him back on the field. Hemingway had some activity, some movement things yesterday, and we might give him a little bit more today. And because I think he wants to try to get back out there and wants to get in pads so that he can begin to participate. Those things are going along, and we're working with him, trying to get him right. And then, some guys have some bumps and bruises, but that's part of training camp, and that occurs, and they get cold tubs and ice packs and all of those things to get themselves well. But that's where we are, and so we're excited about the game coming up this weekend and playing another team and seeing where we are as far as this team goes. So with that, open it up.
I said to ask today how you're going to rotate to 2 and 3 quarterbacks. You have an answer.
Did I say that? No, okay. Stanzi is going to be the guy who will go in first after Castle. And so he's going to be the one. And, we talked about evaluating quarterbacks. And so give him a chance to be the second guy in and see what he can do.
Evaluate them from what you saw in the game. Can you kind of give us a nutshell on each guy, Stanzi and
Well, they're both working hard. They both understand the offense. They both have command in the huddle, and it's still close. And so I can't make a decision yet. And so one guy's had game experience with the second unit, and so now we're going to give the next guy game experience with the second unit and see what he can do, and then that will help the evaluation.
You'll get Quinn in the game too at some point.
If we can, yes.
Don't you Quinn? Because Quinn, Stanzi's going to be 2. You don't think Quinn will? Because Castle's going to go a little longer. Let's back up.
Who knows how the game goes?
Just on your,
I mean, I said that I would get him in the game if I could. All right, and so if the game develops, I mean, like if Castle has 5 or 6 12-play drives, then those other guys may not get as many. So it just depends on how the game goes.
You'd like to get Matt a little more than he had in the first game. In the first unit. The first unit, would you like him to play a whole quarter or
No,
quarter and a half?
I'm telling the first unit the same thing I told them last week. Be ready to play, and then they'll play until I take them out. So that's what I tell them.
Coach, the return game is something I know that you put some emphasis on this camp. Are you happy with the progress that you've seen so far?
Well, I think the guys are working at it, and we were able to get a return last week. But I think that you have to get the returns in the game to know what you have, because in practice, all the guys, they know the right assignments and they kind of go to the right spots. But when you do it in the game, when that adrenaline is flowing and you're doing it against a different opponent, it doesn't always work out the way it does in practice. I like our ability in the return game. Now the thing that we have to do is we have to get into the game, we have to execute, and then take advantage of that ability.
Where would you like your, say, the kickoff return? What would you say would be a good kickoff return?
A good kickoff return average, my ideal.
You ain't gonna get there.
Well, you know what? I think if we can get the ball between the 30 and the 40-yard line on a consistent basis, that would be pretty good.
I mean, what were your thoughts on your pass rush the other night?
It was okay. I mean, we had some sacks, but you know, some of it was against some of the down the line guys. I thought we had decent pressure on the pocket, and if you can get pressure on the pocket, sometimes it doesn't always end up in sacks, but sometimes you can disrupt the timing of the quarterback. You can get him off the spot. You can make him make a throw that he really is not ideal for him. You know, he has to throw around a hand or something like that. So if you can get pressure on the pocket, I think that will be helpful to our pass rush.
What are you expecting from Houston this year in that regard as a pass rusher?
Well, I expect for him to be better as a pass rusher. Because he's had an all-season program. He's been in the system now. I think he's more comfortable. He spent more time working on his pass rush technique, so I expect that to pay off on the field.
On Flowers' injury, when he first injured the heel, I don't know, were expectations that it would take this long to get healthy?
You never know on any injury what it takes, and everybody heals differently, you know. So all I can do is talk to my trainer who consults with the doctors, and then try to find out what they know, what they think, and then they let me know, you know. And it's always when he's ready. I mean, because I don't know his body. He knows his body better than I do. He knows whether he's hurt or not, or what he's capable of. So every injury is different. I mean, you know, hey, I want all injuries to get back as quickly as possible. And so there's no way for me to know how long an injury might take.
Obviously, the step down from Flowers to the second team, I think, or the second team guy will be starting in front of him. Does that change the way you then scheme in the secondary then when you don't have almost like an elite cornerback like Brandon Flowers out there? I mean, do you have to shade guys over to help out, or do you just trust the ability that the next guy's in there knows what he's supposed to do?
At this time of the year, you know, we're in the evaluation process, and I need to find out whether that guy behind him can do what I need done, you know. So I'm not changing what I'm teaching or how we're going to play because Flowers is not there.
Coach, the players have talked a lot about depth this camp. You know, it's the most weapons they've had on offense, or, you know, there's great competition at the linebacker spot. Can you just evaluate the overall depth of this roster, maybe compared to this time last year? And are there any places where you would like to see more competition at a certain position?
Well, I think we have good competition basically at every position, you know, across the board. And I think that's one of the things that has made practice good, because everybody knows that they have to compete, you know, to try to win a spot. And so as long as we can keep that going, that will be helpful to the team, because competition makes everybody better. And you have to stay on top of your game, you know, when you know you got somebody behind you who's capable of stepping in and getting the job done.
It's a ways to go, obviously, but you know, you start thinking about it now and thinking, boy, I'm going to have some tough decisions coming, you know, for these roster spots. I mean, you start to look around and think, boy, you know, the linebacker spot's loaded here. I mean, are you starting to, some of that's starting to become a little bit of a reality?
Well, it's a reality, but I don't know that it's a problem, because I've been on the other side where you didn't have enough competition, and you know, I'd much rather have the problem here than some of the other problems I've had.
Can you remember any time as you were coach a guy that well, he got on the table for what he wanted and he got cut anyway and went on to have a great career?
Have a great career?
Or a good career?
Yeah. Well, but you know, I think that kind of happens all the time, and I talk to the team about the reality, you know, of the fact that we have 89 guys in that room, and we're going to cut down to 53. So everybody can't make it, you know. And so I talk to those guys about putting their best foot forward. And if they're not able to make it here, that doesn't mean that they're not a good football player, because some will go on to be good players for other teams, you know. And we've all seen guys go on and play well for other teams. I mean, and I've had them on my team, you know, but I don't know that I've had Pro Bowlers who, you know, you jump on the table for, and then boom, you let him go, and he turns out to be a Pro Bowler, something like that.
Randy and Jay.
How big a year is this for Tyson Jackson? I mean, it's year 4 now. Can you talk about his development, the expectations just unrealistic for him, or Where is Tyson Jackson?
Well, Tyson Jackson, he's a good football player for our team. And that's the most important thing. I think he's grown since I've been here. He understands the system. He understands how to play the game. I've seen improvement in his technique and his overall ability. I think that he'll have a good year this year. Now, him having a good year for me might not be a good year for some other people, you know. But if he can help this team win, just like I said yesterday about Poe, if they can help this team win, then everybody's going to be happy.
Define a good year. Was last year a good year? What's a good year for him? What makes you say he's had a good game, good year?
Because he does what I ask him to do on a consistent and regular basis, and that's a good year.
Is training camp's winding down? Has there been one or two guys that surprised you when you thought you had and what you have now? Is training camp still winding down?
Well, you know, Dexter has done a nice job in the roles that we put him in and asked him to do some things, and he's been not an overall surprise, but he's been good at what we've asked him to do. And you know, and there was some question about asking him to do too much, where we're going to play him, and all of those kind of things, and he's handled it very nicely.
So focusing in on the one job, the wide receiver, you think that's helping out quite a bit?
I think it will help us out quite a bit.
All right, oh, good? All right, we're good, thanks.
Sheffield still out,
Yep.
and Ethan Johnson, did you send him home, or
Nope.
is he in the dorm?
He's in the dorm.